You fixing to blow a head gasket if you're lucky. Melt a piston if you're not. Good combinations. Speaking of boost, have a freaking boost gauge on the car. If you've got a supercharger and you ain't got a boost gauge, that's like running the engine without an oil light or an oil gauge or a temperature gauge. What the frig? Put a goddamn gauge on it so you know fuel pressure and boost pressure, okay? How do you know it? You say, well, my car ain't running right. I get so many. It just don't feel like it runs right. Well, how much boost you got? I don't know. I ain't got a boost gauge. Well, you may only have 2 pounds of boost and you're supposed to have 10. How the frig you supposed to know that? A boost gauge is the easiest thing in the world to hook up. I can show a 6-year-old how to hook up a mechanical boost gauge in 20 minutes. No excuse not to have them. Now, you probably couldn't do the wiring, but as far as running the line out to the engine from inside the passenger compartment of the car, that's easy peasy. Quit being lazy. Buy a freaking boost gauge at the minimum. You need a fuel pressure gauge too. Tacks. Got to have tacks at work on the dyno, guys. We can't lick our fingers and say, yeah, I think that's about 6,000 RPM. Can't do it. Have a freaking tack, it works. Okay? But if you're buying a combination, get paperwork for God's sake and get some kind of documentation as to what is in the freaking engine. Okay? Don't just buy something and get all glassy-eyed because you see a supercharger and aluminum head. Oh, I always wanted one. Screw that. Get information. Information. Knowledge is king. And without it, you're nothing. Your calibrator's nothing. Your engine builder's nothing. You're going to spend tons of money and still never be satisfied with it because you don't know jack squat about it. Okay? Again, sorry to be such a butt lick. I'm just telling you the way it is, guys. Use your freaking brains, okay? Don't buy it because it's cheap. You get what you pay for. There's very few bargains now. In these days of the internet, everybody knows everything. All they got to do is look up a price on eBay or something like that, lickety-split, and they're going to know what something costs. It ain't like the old days where nobody knew nothing. Everybody knows everything, and if they don't, they pick up their phone, they look it up. Okay? So, don't buy it because it's cheap. If it's too good to be true, it is. Trust me. It probably is. There's a reason it's cheap. You're either buying somebody else's headache that they've tried and tried and tried to get running right and can't, and now they're fixing to pawn it off on you, and you're going to know even less about it than they do. Because they're not going to have any paperwork. Well, Joe said, or this guy built it, or this guy done that. They're not going to know nothing. And you dang sure ain't going to know nothing. And if you don't know nothing, the engine calibrator is just along for the ride. He can't guess about the compression or the engine spec, cam specs, all that. So you need to know that. That's about it, but I can't stress this kind of stuff enough, guys. It's got to be mechanically ready. You cannot tune over a mechanical problem, period. End of story. So please, do yourself a favor. Save money. Don't be lazy. Check it out. Anybody can turn a screwdriver and make sure a hose clamp's tight. You don't have to be a mechanic to do that. If the friggin' radiator is flopping, you need to fix it. Okay? That's about all I can say. Again, guys, I appreciate you putting up with me. I know I've come off as a real jerk, and I don't mean to. And again, I'm the nicest guy in person you will ever meet. But I wanted to put this out here so that you guys that are calling around wanting your car calibrated, please, for God's sake, call the calibrator first. All right, guys. Hope you got something out of this. Need to get in touch with me. Noise Performance on Facebook. 423-317-7272. See you, guys.